even with the performance of Bitcoin over the past month, people are still sleeping on this. We had basically a 44% gain on Bitcoin over the month. We have insane ETF inflows. This light blue is the Bitcoin ETFs, and this is gold. And you can see the inflows have been much larger than gold over the past years. You have Bitcoin hitting $10 billion, the IBIT BlackRock ETF hitting $10 billion. This is hugely bullish, and where is Google sentiments? People are still sleeping on Bitcoin. So don't miss the gain train, because I'm going to catch you up to speed on why you should be pretty bullish on Bitcoin over the next year. As usual, though, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor.
Knowledge.
So let's start at the beginning. We had the Bitcoin ETF approval in early January. We had the dump, and then we had the rise. And if you bought somewhere during the dip, you'd have been at a 50% gain just about in a month, which is pretty great. We have these ETFs. You can go to heyapollo.com/Bitcoin ETF. We have these crazy inflows of about 150,000 Bitcoin have been purchased since the ETFs. That's almost 1% of all Bitcoin from the 21 million Bitcoin have been purchased in under 2 months. That's hugely bullish. We have BlackRock's IBIT ETF hit 10 billion faster than any other ETF. And you know how long it took gold, SPDR, GLD to do this? How long did it take them to hit 10 billion in assets? It took them 2 years after its 2004 launch to hit 10 billion. And it took the IBIT, one Bitcoin ETF, under 2 months to do that. If that's not hugely bullish to you, I really don't know what is. So we have a ton of money coming in, and that's only one Bitcoin ETF. Don't forget about all the other Bitcoin ETFs on here, but you have IBIT definitely leading the performance. We have tons of Bitcoin inflows compared to gold, at least in a certain time frame. And then we can also see 78% of the inflows are from money, according to Eric Balchunas, and this guy is a senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg. I like him. Follow him on Twitter if you want. But he has a lot of good stuff from the Bitcoin ETF. So that means $7.8 billion have been put into the Bitcoin IBIT fund, and then the other $2 billion has been from price appreciation. So that means $7.8 billion has been poured in only one ETF, and you're forgetting about all the other ETFs that you can do. So we really need to think about this. We have Bitcoin right here, where you can't produce more once the 21 million is mined, versus gold, which you can always produce more gold. We have one Bitcoin ETF, IBIT, capturing $10 billion in 2 months, which took gold 2 years to do. And that's hugely bullish, and we can see that in the price appreciation right here. But it's not only institutions, governments, people that are overly bullish on Bitcoin right now. It's still people. We can see on HODL15 Capital, which you also follow on Twitter, there's a guy called Mr. 100 or a group, whoever, that buys 100 Bitcoin at a time. And you can check his wallet right here on bitinfo.charts. And you can see he has over 51,000 Bitcoin. But he's still been accumulating. You can go through all of these right here. He's been accumulating in February. That's still February. We can scroll down. He's been accumulating 100 Bitcoin in January. Every day. We can scroll down. He was still purchasing in December. We can scroll down. He is still purchasing in August. This address has been purchasing so much Bitcoin. He has 51,000 Bitcoin and is a $3 billionaire with the current market price. So many people are bullish. Obviously, the whales are bullish. Obviously, institutions are bullish. Obviously, this is outpacing gold real quick. And maybe one day Bitcoin overall will catch up to gold, because this is actually a scarce asset versus gold, which you can mine more, and it's just a rock. So with all these things in mind, why aren't you bullish on Bitcoin? You have mass adoption. You have people obviously wanting to put their money in. This is reflected in the share price. I mean, this is huge. And then people are still sleeping on Google Trends, and they're missing the gain train right now. And I put my arrows on the chart. These are days I put out videos saying, hey, maybe you want to look at Bitcoin down here in August, down here in December, down here in January. So, I mean, not to toot my own horn, this could obviously just come back down real quick, and then I look stupid, but I accept that. That's fine. I put it on the chart. I acknowledge this probably isn't just going to keep mooning straight up like this to 200,000. There's going to be a choppy ride, but if you don't have any Bitcoin in your portfolio, if you're not allocating even 2%, if you're not doing something, I really think you should take a good look and see your investment philosophy and see if it's worth it just to put 1%. Because when we look at Bitcoin Argentina, what does this chart look like? Straight moon. Why? Because their currency sucks. When we look at Bitcoin Turkey, what do we get? Oh, another straight moon. Why? Because their currency sucks. When we look at Bitcoin Lebanon, what do we get? Oh, look, another straight moon, literally candlestick up. Why? Because their currency sucks. If you think the US currency is any different than these countries we just looked at with all these straight mooning charts, look at these. You might want to rethink, right? So just something to keep in mind. If you don't want to hold any Bitcoin, that's on you. But, as we can see from other countries, I think it'd be a silly bet not to take and even put like a percent in. Not a financial advisor, though. Not financial advice. I'm a social worker. So do what you want with that, okay? But if you're wondering which Bitcoin ETFs to buy, check out this video right here. Peace.